Welcome then to part 2 of Writing with New Media, an introduction to multimodal composing. In this section we talk about standards. So as a continuation then of the theme that writing has changed, and we continue to discuss the fact that writing has changed, and with it the composing processes themselves. In fact, to call it the composing process is to misrepresent writing at any point in history. From the earliest days of print literacy, composing processes were multiple, individual, and irreducibly complex. Of course, any attempt to write, and certainly in this series of videos to discuss writing, we're going to engage with that inevitability. We face it head on and perhaps even enjoy it, certainly learn from it. The methods that you've had previously continue to serve you quite well. As I've said, writing is writing is writing. But it's also important to note that we're not starting over. What works well in one modality is quite likely to be of concern and to be a goal in another modality. Take this for example. These is journalists. Journalists have had to contend quite a bit with the offerings of modalities, multimodalities, certainly as the newspaper has lost its force as a powerhouse for delivering news. They have rethought themselves in some amazing ways. This is, I think, a nice model for us to explore, considering how we do our current kind of storytelling levels and the potential for more. As I said, these are aimed at journalists and the news story genre, but we can certainly see how these levels might be appropriately applied to other genres and goals as well. Certainly writing for our college courses where an argument needs to be foregrounded and we need to have some sort of a focal point. So in this first storytelling level, the person who's doing the storytelling certainly meets the guidelines. They use complete sentences. They tell information about the assignment, whatever they're to be working on. They identify there's a beginning, there's a middle, there's an end of the written story. It introduces sound bites it meets the deadline. So I guess we can see a number of parallels in a college writing assignment. To take it up to the next level, that storyteller breaks it down into elements and orders them into a sort of script. Tells a story that contains both a beginning, a middle, and an end, of course. But they've got levels that include pictures, photojournalism in this sense. They use facts and interesting details to further the story, even in a fact-based argument-driven essay, having some sort of picture to help further the project along, maybe in terms of presenting the data as charts and so forth. These things are all very important to any kind of writing that we're doing. If there's the possibility of introducing other modalities, we certainly try to. To take it up to another level, it tells a story through people that viewers can identify with and remember. So if we're talking about public writing in this case, and whether that be a news story or something else, we want to have a way for the author to connect with the reader in whatever modality we're working in. If they, in this case, incorporate natural sound in the most memorable pictures as the elements of the story. So again, we're taking it up a notch by adding video. And we envision what would be the best storytelling elements of the story while shooting and writing the story as in your head as you go is a suggestion that they offer, because of course they're working on a deadline, but thinking in terms of what various elements can be used from the variety of modalities to tell the story. And this is an important thing. You take the viewers on a journey that they don't want to get out of. They want to stay on that journey, and that's true of any writing that we do. But to take it up even another notch, use the element of surprise, keep the viewer engaged, possess your own identifiable style, weave basic elements, pictures, sounds, writing into seamless narratives. Leave the viewer with an indelible image of the story that you're trying to tell. The piece should stick with them, and in a good way, no matter what kind of writing we're doing. In the next example, I'll talk from what the Center for Digital Storytelling offers as suggestions for keeping in mind as we consider the goals of any project that we're working on.